Y'all haven't heard me do a voiceover in a long time. Well, I'm back to doing it. It's your boy Stick God 16, man, and I'm coming with the Superstar Showdown review. So I played it in the beta, and by the way, this gameplay is not from the beta. This is Madden 23 gameplay, so do not come in the comments asking if this is Madden 24 Superstar Showdown gameplay. So I'm about to go deep into what I played and, all that good stuff. So first off, it's 3v3, but you see the AIs in the middle? None of that. AIs is completely gone. AIs is completely gone. So y'all don't have to worry about that. And this field is not as big as what it was in the yard. So the field is a 50-yard field instead of an 80-yard field like how it is in Madden 23 yard. And also the field is not as wide. So when you first see it, it kind of throws you off. You thinking like, whoa, like we're really about to play on the 50-yard field. But I'm telling you, once you play it enough times, then it'll be like, oh, okay, that like it makes sense. It makes sense why they made it smaller. And it's only 4 downs. It's not no first downs. It's only 4 downs. So if you don't score within those 4 downs, then you turn the ball over, and I like that. Positions you could pick on offense is QB, running back, and receiver. Mind you, even though you're playing running back, you can motion out to slot receiver or wide out on the other side. And defensively, the positions is linebacker, cornerback, and safety. Something that's also new is that when you play running back, they actually have running back plays where you get a handoff as a running back, which is cool, and it's not overpowered like what you think it would be. Like, they balanced it out perfectly. I don't know like how to explain it, but like if you know what you're doing, it's easy to stop. It's not overpowered, but if you don't know what you're doing, it could be a difficult time. Like it at the end of the day, it's a skill gap thing. You feel me? It's a skill gap thing. So, and they still have stuff where you can go behind the line and stuff like that, but they made it to where someone has to cross past the line for the time to not expire. So if, let's say, if you still throw the ball behind the line and stuff like that, someone has to cross the line or the time will expire. Versus 23, 22, and 21, you could play behind the line all day and be cheesy, but they made it to where you have to pass the line defensively for that clock to disappear. So I'm glad they added that, because I was just thinking, like, how is that gonna work? Like, they still gonna have behind the line, but they made it to where it's not cheesy as long as you don't pass the line. So the time is still gonna be running, which is a real good thing, because I'm not gonna lie, that used to be so annoying, people just playing behind the line. And now I'm about to go into defense. Now defense, you definitely can play some defense. I think it's well balanced, and of course, like I said, depending on your builds and stuff like that, defense, you could definitely like have games where the other opponent doesn't score, especially if the skill gap isn't there and they have the wrong builds and stuff like that. Defensively, you could really lock up. Like, when majority of y'all get your hands on the game, y'all gonna see what I'm talking about. But if y'all played the beta and y'all was dominant, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And now the build system, man. So if you guys or any of you played NBA Live 19, that's exactly what the build system is. Like, it's exactly the same thing like that. It's a replica of that. And to be honest, I like it. No, I love it. I love it because really at the end of the day, everybody can't have the same exact build, if you get what I mean, because the way how you level up builds, depending on the position you pick too. So what position you pick, let's say, okay, for example, if you pick a QB, you can get his throwing stuff maxed out like easily, stuff like that. But let's say if you want to get his defensive stuff maxed out, you would have to like do a lot of defensive stuff to get it maxed out, but it won't be as easy as maxing out like his throwing power, throw accuracy, and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, it's an offensive build. And for like corner, coverage and stuff like that, that's going to be easier. But you could throw with the corner. It's a throwing power ability for a corner, so you're going to have to throw a lot of like touchdowns or for a lot of yards and stuff like that. So I like how they make it to where if it's not the main thing for your position, it's gonna be way more harder to do. And that makes sense, because if everything is easy to level up, then what's the point of, you get what I mean? It just wouldn't feel right. And I know for a fact everyone is not gonna grind everything out, because it's just gonna be too hard to do, or they're just not gonna know the right way to do it. Also, the levels is 50 levels to have a fully maxed out build. Last year it was 30, but now it's 50. But honestly, playing through the beta, it's not that hard to do. It's not that hard to do like what you think it would be. Like, people was at level 40 3-4 days into the beta, just playing it a lot through online and not even grinding it. So it's not a hard thing to do. It's definitely not a hard thing to do. And the position you pick will matter. It will definitely matter. So like for running backs and stuff like that, like offensively, I think running backs are probably the best all around, just because, you know, they're fast. They got juke moves, spin moves, all of that. Their ratings are real high, and it's really hard to tackle those like type of positions. But defensively, it's like a liability. Like, that's the pros and cons with a running back. But I feel like, you know, probably the best balanced position I would say is cornerback, because he could still catch like a receiver and stuff like that, but he could still guard. And like I said, they have throwing power, so he could play like really all around the field, literally all around the field. But it's certain builds where you could play both sides, and there's certain builds where you got to pick and choose. Like, okay, it's really good on this side of the ball, but on the other side of the ball, it could be a problem. So just depending on what type of build you have and how you make the build, like the height, the speed, all of that, that's going to determine, you know, what type of build, you know, if your build is going to be a reliable build. And like I said, your build more than likely won't be the same as somebody else's build. And that's why I like the build system, because it's so unique. Like, you could kind of replica somebody else's build, but for the most part, or 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be that same exact build. So when you make your build, you have to make sure it's on an even playing field with all the other builds that you're playing against, because if not, you might have a hard time just competing. And now the gameplay is so fun. Like, I was surprised, because like I said, when you take a first glance and just look at that 50-yard field, you like thinking, bro, like, there's no way, like, how is this gonna work? But once you start playing it, like, the gameplay is really fun. Like, it's definitely, it has that replay value. It has replay value like a motherfucker. Like, you could literally play that mode all day with the right teammates. You know, you'll have good chemistry and stuff like that. And mind you, it was a bug where it was just a 2v2 instead of a 3v3, and it was just fun like that. So when the full thing is working correctly and they polish it, a full 3v3, oh my god, it's gonna be crazy. Like, the potential with this mode is so high. Like, it could be bigger than Ultimate Team, and I'm so serious when I say that. Like, it could be bigger than Ultimate Team. It could be on that My Park type of level like 2K is. But for that to happen, they have to keep it updated throughout the year. They cannot do what they did with the yard. Just have it, you know, updated for like the first month, and then after that, just it's an afterthought. Because if they do it with this mode, it's gonna do the same exact thing like the yard. It's gonna fall flat on its face. So yearly updates through this mode, it has to happen. It's no other choice. If they wanted to flourish and be on that co-op competitive like level, like, you know, Call of Duty, NBA, 2K, all the other games that have that co-op competitive type of scenery, then they're gonna have to do that. And they need to actually throw in a EA tournament for this mode specifically, and not just Ultimate Team. Because I'm telling you, if they have a tournament for this, you know how many people are gonna just try to qualify just because it's a co-op mode, and people love playing or just, you know, doing stuff co-op with people. Like, that's the thing now. It's 2023. Like, Madden's been missing that co-op competitive scene, and this mode right here is perfect. Like I said, if they don't update it throughout the year or just keep it, you know, fresh, it's gonna fall out. So at the end of the day, it's on EA's hands on if this mode is something really, really big, and it can be really big. They put the blueprint out for the yard, and they just revamped it into something that it should have been in the first place, and is way better, is way more engaging, and I think majority of the people like it. But like I said, you gotta keep it updated throughout the year. It's a must. It's a must. You cannot just touch it for the beginning of the year and just be like, oh, okay, that's it. No. So, but honestly, this mode, it can be something really big for the future. So if it falls flat, y'all know the reasons why, and I just stated the reasons. So hopefully EA falls through with keeping it updated throughout the year, so we can all enjoy it throughout the year. And and of course they're gonna build upon it each year after this. But what they laid out for 24 is perfect. So are you guys gonna try out this mode? Leave your answers in the comments. Tell me what you think they should add for the future of this mode, or what you think could be the best thing. And if you played the beta, tell me what you like and what you didn't like, all that stuff. But it's your boy Stick Guy 16, man. Hopefully, man, I'm telling you, man, this mode could be the thing for Madden that's been needed for a long time. I'm going to y'all be easy.